in one sense, I would say nothing has changed, in that in order to tell a news story and to operate properly as a journalist, the principles of journalists must stay the same. You know, the who, what, when, where and why, verification, working with integrity and objectivity, that should be a given. Unfortunately, we had very clear boundaries up until maybe 10 years ago with how a story should be formatted and how it should be told, and the formulaic part of it. And social media came along and it was like someone dropped a bomb into all of that system, and it's just gone. The floodgates have opened. And so now we're dealing with a massive information overload. And people, I mean, new Pew Research figures from the States up to 2017 are showing that 2/3 of US citizens are getting their news stories from Facebook. Now, I don't think we're too far behind here in Ireland. So is it any wonder that, you know, I would say a small number of the news stories that they are getting are coming from what you would call traditional news feeds. So we're competing as journalists and people who are telling stories. We're competing with all of this noise. There's so much noise coming through on the internet. And I guess the kind of work that we do at Storyful is, our tagline is, we sort the news from the noise. So we try and find the real heart of the story, find the real person who is at the heart of the story, pick up their story and tell it. Yeah. Well, I mean, traditionally I would come from a radio background, and again, the boundaries were very clear back then. You got press releases, you got hundreds of press releases from public sector groups, or you picked up the phone and we spoke to each other and we, you know, discussed about what way we wanted to approach things. I think that model is still in play, but obviously social is a whole other world. And there are a lot of people here today actually who, from public sector groups, who have really found a way to communicate with their viewers and with journalists through social media, and it's really admirable. I get the impression that the tone is very important. In terms of the practicalities of trying to get journalists to come to your event, say your press conference, you know, never ring a radio station at 10 minutes to the hour when they're trying to put a story together. Pick up the phone and talk to them. Direct message them on Twitter. Have Twitter lists. You know, get some Twitter lists going of the people you want as your sources, of the people you want to make contact with. Start engaging that way. People are, you know, journalists are very much on Twitter. You'll find, you know, you find maybe young people are on Snapchat and Instagram a bit more, but you'll find the journalists on Twitter. So I would say Twitter lists would be a great way to start. If I was starting from nothing in a public sector group and I wanted to try and build, Twitter lists to me are a bit like the contact book of the old journalist years ago.